France have never followed up one good World Cup with another one. They've never put two decent consecutive World Cup showings together, back to back. Honestly, lads, France are going to have an absolutely rotten World Cup. Honestly, they will. Trust me, if France win the World Cup, I will fly to Paris and spend an entire day begging for forgiveness outside the Eiffel Tower. But it ain't gonna happen.
Hello, I am the Irish guy, and can anyone be bothered? Sorry, I always get like this over the last game of the World Cup. I think it's because with every tournament, we get, 3 games crammed in every day. You're overwhelmed with football, Clockwork Orange style, and then before the final, there's just a 3-day break. Slowly, we get weaned off the tournament, and then, so by the time the final comes around, lads, I remember back in 2018, after my brain was fried with football overload, that for the France versus Croatia final, I spent the first 15 minutes buttering toast. I mean, right now, to me, the idea of Morocco versus Croatia in the 3rd place playoff on Saturday afternoon, about as enticing as licking oatmeal off a tennis ball. But France versus Argentina in a World Cup final. Okay, I did say we wouldn't get the dream glamour tie, and we did! The footballing gods just had to, once again, make me look like I've just spent the morning eating mud with a spoon. But France versus Argentina, who will win? I should say France. Everyone always says that Brazil are the kings of football, but I mean, the stats would indicate, in my lifetime, France are gonna now have played in 4 World Cup finals. I think this country, they're now the kings of football, right? And I should say France will win this game because World Cup finals are so predictable. Honestly, they're about as predictable as the outcome of a romantic comedy. I mean, in the 3rd act, when does Sandra Bullock ever get hit by a bus? No, it's always just some horrible kiss at the airport. And similarly for this, in World Cup finals, whoever is the favourite wins the match. I mean, the last time an underdog won a World Cup final, maybe France in 1998 when they beat Brazil, but even then, probably not because the game was in Paris. Maybe West Germany in 1990. No, there's never, ever been a clear underdog win in a World Cup final. Ever. The underdogs never win. And especially if you're a massive underdog like Sweden or Croatia, you get absolutely slapped. As if you just made a joke about Will Smith's wife. Really? Am I still doing Will Smith slap jokes in December? Yeah, a bit outdated that. What next? Am I soon gonna be making jokes about Brangelina's divorce? But first, let me interrupt this video to let you know that this video is sponsored by Wash and Go. I'm sorry, but for me, I need this shampoo in my life. Did you not watch that desperate video I did? Yeah, go watch it. I shaved off someone's hair. But lads, if I did not have this, then I would just have hair stickier than a squash meringue pie. Lads, the Wash and Go 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner combines the cleansing power of shampoo with the hair benefits of a conditioner, all in one convenient step. Lads, by telling you this, I'm single-handedly saving your hair. Unless you're bald, which, in that case, I don't know, just wear a hat. But lads, it's formulated with nourishing ingredients that work to strengthen and moisturize your hair so you can have it soft, shiny, and manageable. Instead of me, I recently had a load of milk dumped on my head. Yeah, without this, I'd still be stinking like a bowl of weeded pigs. But no more, lads. Why waste time and money on separate shampoos and conditioners when you can get both with the Wash and Go 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner? Honestly, it wouldn't make sense. Try it today, see the difference, and honestly, thank me later. But lads, let me ask you, what springs to mind when you think of the 2014 World Cup? Yeah, you probably all immediately think back to Germany, sticking 7 past Brazil. With the likes of David Luiz looking like someone who's just been given tickets to see Ollie Mers. But to me, a standout moment is the sad moment of Lionel Messi lining up a last-minute free kick in the World Cup final. Just stick it past Manuel Neuer and take the match to penalties. It was like something out of a Hollywood script. Honestly, they used this exact same scenario for Santiago Munoz in goal. There's also the exact same plot line and bent it like Beckham. Honestly, Hollywood scriptwriters drool over last-minute free kicks. And here, in the 120th minute of the match, it was almost like Bastian Schweinsteiger had fouled him 25 yards from goal, almost as if to say,
go on then, if you are the best player in the world, prove it!
To be fair, if Messi did score that free kick and Argentina went on to win the match, then I'm pretty sure Schweinsteiger would probably have to go and relocate to a cave in Peru. But no, yeah, my lasting memory of that tournament is Messi, after a 2-minute build-up with Argentina fans literally praying into their hands, he anticlimactically lofts it over the bar. Lads, it wasn't even close. It's legitimately one of the worst free kicks I've ever seen. If Ashley Young did that in the World Cup semi-final against Croatia in 2018, pretty sure England fans would be wanting to burn down his house. You could have stuck another full-size goal on top of Neuer's first one, and it was still not going in. This is literally the most anticlimactic moment in sport, and that the next 2 summers was just football literally trying to pile grief onto Messi's face. The footballing gods just poking him to see how much more he could take. You know, a bit like when Ned Flanders lost both his house and his wife. Lads, people sneer at Messi because he retired from international duty age 29. Well, come on, how would you deal with those 3 summers in a row? 2014, you lost the World Cup final in extra time. 2015, you lose the Copa America final on penalties to a pretty average Chile. In 2016, again, you lose the Copa America final on penalties to a pretty average Chile. That is 3 finals in a row, and every time Argentina failed to score a single goal. Lads, that 2016 tournament was mad. Brazil, I mean, they won a match by 7 goals to 1 and still didn't get out of the group. So come on, a Final Four of Colombia, Chile, Argentina, and the USA. Still failing to win it from there. No wonder Messi was a broken man. I mean, lads, you know when Germany beat Brazil 7-1 in the semi-final at the World Cup in 2014? I mean, yeah, they have to win the final after that, right? They couldn't lose it from there. Well, Argentina, in the semi-final of the 2015 Copa America, they smashed Paraguay by 6 goals to 1. Messi was probably spending the first week of July salivating over a Copa America medal, so to bottle it on penalties. No, just no. So here, I am happy that Messi's back in another World Cup final, because I am so sick of trying to imagine him at a World Cup. And for the first thing to come to mind is that dodgy free kick. No, I mean, it's like if you're asked to recall the plot of Citizen Kane, a fantastic, incredible classic movie, right? Well, I mean, when you try to remember it, all you're gonna remember is the final scene where the fat uncle chops off his knob in the bath. Okay, full disclosure, I've never seen the film. But you get my point. This is the Messi World Cup final where he has to come alive. Don't just chuck in a repeat of that feeble performance against Germany, where you look like Bilbo Baggins on his wedding night. No, Messi, you need to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. If only to once again make Gary Neville look like he's got earwigs for brains. Lads, this entire month has been a massive L for Gary. For obvious reasons, but the fact that he began this tournament by saying that
defenders are no longer scared of Messi.
Yeah. Ask Josko Vardiol. Only 3 weeks ago, Neville was talking about Messi as if he's just some unimpressive shadow. A pale imitation of what he once was. A bit like if you booked tickets to see Elvis Presley in concert. Now, yes, just a jar of ashes on the stage. But look at Messi now. I'm gonna say this. This is the greatest international tournament I've ever seen him play. And that, he took home the Player of the Tournament award 8 years ago in Brazil. But in reality, he just gave up after that group stage. Sure, he scored against Bosnia, Iran, and Nigeria in the group. But after that, no goals against Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, or Germany. Lads, in the knockout matches, Argentina scored 2 goals in 450 minutes. Yeah, 3 of those games went to extra time. And they only scored twice in 7.5 hours. That's the length of the Godfather trilogy. Messi didn't deserve that award, and so giving him that, when it's a blatant lie, it's like putting Danny DeVito on the cover of Men's Health, when he wouldn't even be able to compete in an egg and spoon race without vomiting up his lunch. A lunch which would probably just be 9 meatballs and a deep fried swan. But this is finally the World Cup where Messi has come alive. Sure, I mean, he showed glimpses in previous World Cups, but that's all it has been. I mean, he didn't even score a single goal in 2010. But here, if he wins the World Cup this week, then I genuinely think Cristiano Ronaldo will start crying on the couch. This is a man who prides himself in being the GOAT in his head. But I mean, he also wants everyone else to believe it too. And lads, last season was the closest he has ever come to converting the popular belief. Because I can't be the only one who remembers that the same people glorifying Messi on Twitter now were the same ones calling Ronaldo the GOAT last year when he banged in nearly 30 goals for Man United, while Messi was scoring 6 in France.
Oh, Ronaldo can do it in the other leagues. Messi can't.
Yeah, if the world had just stopped there, if we found out that actually the entire planet was just some tub of frozen ice cream in Susan Boyle's fridge, and if we just all stopped existing, then I think Ronaldo would have been seen as the greatest of all time. But this is a nightmare 6 months. And especially his return to Man United coincided around the time of that Michael Jordan documentary. I mean, when you looked at that documentary, you know, a charismatic star of the sport, everyone thought of Ronaldo as the footballing equivalent. Honestly, in 2021, I know you all thought Ronaldo was the GOAT, but now we are at a point where if Messi wins this competition, the debate has ended in most people's head. I mean, not Piers Morgan's head. But to be fair, there's probably not much room to fit anything else in that brain other than Ronaldo's phone number and Meghan Markle hate. But who is going to win this? First, let me say this. If France actually recall a Finnegan carrying Benzema to the team, then it will be a genuine disgrace. This might be the first time that anyone has ever advocated against picking the current Ballon d'Or champion. But can we just retire Benzema for France? This guy is a much better centre forward than Olivier Giroud. Yes, obviously that's true. Come on, I'm not a deluded pigeon who goes around thinking that Giroud is made of gold. I mean, if I genuinely believe that Giroud, a guy who 2 years ago was on Steve Bruce's shopping list, was better than a fella been Real Madrid's #1 centre forward for 13 years. If I believe that, then I'm pretty sure the doctors would be immediately knocking on my door. But France are better with Giroud in the team. Can anyone really deny that? Here's the competitions where Benzema has played for his country. Right, Euro 2008, at 20 years of age, he started 2 games and was blasted by the French press as France finished bottom of their group. I mean, he was later accused by William Gallas of being an insolent, arrogant rat in the training camp. He then missed the 2010 World Cup, but was back at Euro 2012, didn't do much, and France went out in the last 16. Sure, he had a decent 2014 World Cup, but I mean, they still lost in the semi-final. Then he gets banned for 5 years, and so without him, France have reached the final of Euro 2016, they've won the 2018 World Cup, and now they're back in another World Cup final. Oh yeah, and Benzema did briefly return for Euro 2020, and he scored some goals, but they still went out in the last 16 to Switzerland. I don't know why, but Giroud fits the team better. Maybe it's a lack of ego. I mean, Benzema has been treated like a king for 15 years, but Giroud, in his career, he's had to reject offers from QPR, Celtic, and Middlesbrough. Honestly, when Benzema was getting a monster move to Real Madrid, Giroud was talking on the phone with Gordon Strachan, who was trying to convince him to move to Teesside and play in the Championship. Lads, back then, Middlesbrough had Dave Kitson, Caleb Folan, and Marcus Bent up front, and they wanted to sign Giroud? What is this? And also around that time, Tony Mowbray wanted to bring him to Glasgow to ask him to play in a team with Aidan McGeady on the wing. I mean, after all that, Giroud does not have Benzema's ego, who honestly probably sees himself as some sort of French prince. So honestly, if I see Giroud drop for this World Cup final, and with Benzema taking his place, I'm gonna say it will be an absolute disgrace. But who is gonna win? Listen, on paper, France have the strongest team and are massive favourites. And favourites always win. But I have said since the start that teams don't just win World Cups back to back. No, I refuse to believe that this French squad has more hunger than Argentina. I know there's some new faces in this France team. But come on, even the fans. The French fans already lived the World Cup dream 4 years ago. Are they really going to be more excited than the Argentina fans? No, I mean, surely this will be like a home game for Argentina. Their fans will absolutely outnumber the French, and honestly, the noise will be deafening. I mean, Argentina are desperate for this title. They want to do it for Diego Maradona, but listen, Didier Deschamps, he rarely loses at the World Cup. The only 2 managers that have actually outwitted him in a World Cup match are Joachim Löw in 2014 and the Tunisian coach last month. But again, it was like Deschamps' grandma had picked a team. And really, Deschamps should obliterate a raw coaching newbie like Lionel Scaloni, a former West Ham right back who's never had another job. I mean, lads, when Deschamps was, as a manager, competing against Jose Mourinho in the Champions League final, Scaloni was playing right back against Shelburne in Dublin. I mean, come on! So my brain says I should pick France to win. But I also said at the start of the tournament that if France do win the World Cup, then I will fly to Paris and beg for forgiveness. So, nah, I'm gonna say Argentina are gonna play the game of their lives. Messi was an absolute damp flannel against Germany in 2014, yes, but this version of a hungry Messi, I think he's gonna do it. This is going to be the fairy tale story. I mean, to start the competition by losing to Saudi Arabia and immediately chuck their dark horse tag in the bin to then recover and go out and win the title. Lads, I'm gonna say this. Argentina 2, France 1. Argentina are going to be the world champions? Anyway, that's what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know who you think is going to win. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, as always. I'll talk to you in a while.